Weston Woodpecker met Willow on a midsummer's day as around the country park he flew. And after a smile and being friends for a while, they flew back to the family he knew. But they woke up each morning in a terrible grump, wedged between his sisters and father and mother. And Weston would say almost every day, "I'm squished and I'm squashed and I'm bothered. Let's find a new place. My egg's almost laid and we need a strong old tree to nest in." Willow was wise, so they took to the skies and with a peck and a coo started testing. First they arrived at the flooded pond where it was cold and damp and looked like a bog. Machines had chopped down all the trees, so now the water was up to their knees. Weston thought, tasty buzzing bugs galore. What a feast, who could ask for more? But Willow said, "Everything is water, a swamp both far and near. The fish would love it all, but I'm afraid we can't nest here." Next, they came to the scorched park, where their feathers grew sweaty and their throats became parched. All the trees had long since died, so the plants had no shelter and were brown and dry. Weston thought, plenty of land and lots of space for a woodpecker chick to run a race. But Willow said, "It's sweltering, boiling, baking. It's far too hot, I fear. I don't want to be a cooked bird. I'm afraid we can't nest here." Finally, they got to the middle of the city, where the streets were full and the air was gritty. Though there was water and there was food, everything was grey and it smelled like poo. Weston thought, there's water and there's food and there's plenty of people too. But Willow said, "The oxygen's polluted and the air isn't clear. Factory fumes fill the skies. I'm afraid we can't nest here." "Did you find anywhere?" Weston's mum asked when they arrived back at the tree. "No luck," Weston sighed. "Everything is ruined as far as the eye can see. The pond is flooded, the park is burnt, and the city's all polluted." "Oh," said Weston's mum, "if only we knew some conservationists. Maybe they could be recruited." "A conservationist?" asked Willow. "What does that even mean?" "Well, they're some of the loveliest people. They help to keep the city clean. They put up bird feeders and pick up rubbish. They plant and garden and grow. They're always doing little things to make a big difference, you know. They're people who take care of nature and the green spaces in London. But even with their help, it'll still take years to fix the damage that's been done." So, we leave Weston and Willow Woodpecker. At the end of our tale, they couldn't find a new home, so they gave up on London and flew away to Wales. But they're hoping that one day, once their eggs have hatched and grown, someone like you will plant more trees so they can fly back home.